Gonna head back to the phones, and we've got Greg on the phone from Louisville. Greg, great to have you. Hi.
Hi, Russ. Great show.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
I'm calling about these journalists that President Obama invited to the White House a couple of days ago. And they're conservative journalists, and I guess they were all conservative journalists who had criticized Senator Cruz and Senator Lee and Senator Paul, who've been fighting, to defund or Obamacare. It's interesting. It seems like it's a strategy to try to drive a wedge in the Republican Party and try to ostracize Senator Cruz and his supporters. And I just think it's an interesting situation. And you've got the Surrender Caucus of journalists that were called in, the Byron Yorks.
Well, who were these people? I know that Krauthammer was one. Who are some of the others?
Yeah, Byron York and Krauthammer and the people who.
Well, do you think have you read anything they've written or heard anything they've said since that visit? Do you think that Obama got to them?
Yeah, I think he did. Absolutely. I think
you do,
especially. I think of Byron York, especially. Absolutely, yes. And I think it's just a strategy to divide the opposition by Obama.
Well, there's no doubt about that. I haven't studied it the way you apparently have. I
just think it's exciting. We have a leader like Cruz and his who are just doing something. They're standing up and bringing attention to this issue, and I think that's just an inspirational thing, and we need to support it.
Well, I agree. I mean, one of the themes of the program today. I'm curious that you think that you're detecting Byron York having changed the way he reports and writes since.
Well, I've heard him speak on the radio. I don't know what he's written. I haven't read what he's written today, but he seems to be indicating a little bit of a hesitancy to criticize the president. And these are the people who were always complaining about the Republicans on the debt ceiling, on the sequester, kind of counseling, give in, don't make a scene, don't cause too much of a stir.
Here's the list. I have this. It was Dr. Krauthammer. It was Paul Gigot of the Wall Street Journal, Robert Costa, National Review, Kathleen Parker, and Byron York.
All of these people, I believe, every single one of them has been on the anti-Cruz side of the Republican debate.
Well, you may have a point there, but I think they were anti-Cruz before Obama called them up.
Right, that's why he called. That's why what I'm saying is that's why he called them.
He called them up to give them attaboys.
Yeah, and exactly, and to encourage the division.
Right. Have you read anything that Robert Costa has either blogged or written, posted at National Review?
Not since the little powwow, no.
I want David Brooks's feelings are going to be hurt because he wasn't invited. And he's the guy, I mean, he was all in, creasing the slacks and so forth the first time around. That's puzzling.
Maybe there'll be a round two at some point. Who knows?
Yeah. Brooks wasn't invited. Yeah. Well, I knew it had happened, and I would think, if it were me, I'd come out of there hell-bent on making everybody know that I wasn't pliable. I'd come out, I'd be firing double barrels at Obama after something like that, rather than go soft on him, because I wouldn't want my readers to think I was that easily neutered, as it were.
Maybe he chose his subjects well. I hope not, but maybe so. We'll see.
Byron York, I don't know. The only guy on that list who really is consistently pro-Republican establishment is Costa from National Review. Now the other guys have their moments.
Yeah,
they go back and forth. They all do good work now and then. But I'm trying now. There was something on the tip of my tongue I want to say here. It's slipping my mind. And if I don't concentrate on it, it might. It'll come to me at some point. There was something else I wanted to add. But look, Greg, I appreciate the call. Thanks much. It ain't gonna matter anything. It's not a big deal one way or the other. Ray. I know what it was. George Will's column today. George Will was one of the first in the first group invited back in 2009. But he wasn't in this group, and that's what George Will has a column today. It's based on a book that's just been written, and I don't have the name of the book in front of me. I'll find it during the break. But the theory espoused in the book is that the modern liberalism that we know it can be traced to the Kennedy assassination. This guy's theory is that faced with the choice that a little communist had killed Kennedy, or America's defects had killed Kennedy, the liberals chose America's defects. And from that point to today, they glommed on. He gives quotes from Scotty Reston and New York Times writers blaming conservatives, blaming American culture, blaming all sorts of rotten American characteristics for killing Kennedy. And it begot the modern era of liberalism that America is to blame for everything. And I've heard that theory espoused not quite that way before. So I'll find that and get to it in detail in the next hour. Having more fun than a human being should be allowed to have. This theory about the Kennedy assassination giving birth to the modern construct of liberalism is a fascinating theory. And I'll lead with it when we get back from our obscene profit timeout here at the top of the hour. Plus your telephone calls at 800-282-2882. You stay right where you are. We're coming right back.